Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, and hi everyone! Today we are going to learn about properties of materials. So these are the objectives that you have to achieve for today's lesson. There are 6 properties of materials that we are going to learn today. They are materials that absorb water, materials that float or sink, materials that are elastic, materials that can conduct electricity, materials that can conduct heat, and materials that allow light to pass through. Let's start the lesson with materials that absorb water. The examples of materials that absorb water are sponge, cotton, towel, tissue, paper, and wood. Sponge has the highest ability to absorb water, followed by cotton and towel. And waterproof materials that are materials that cannot absorb water are plastic, glass, rubber, and metal. The examples of the use of water-absorbent materials such as to wipe spill or to dry our body after shower, and the use of waterproof materials such as to retain liquid and also to protect us from the rain. Now let's learn about materials that float or sink. The examples of materials that can float such as leaf, cork, materials that are made of plastic such as this plastic spoon or polystyrene, which is actually a type of plastic too, materials that are made of wood such as this wooden pencil, and a ball can also float too. The characteristics of materials that float are they usually are made of plastic or made of wood, has airspace or airtight. And the examples of materials that sink such as rock, metals, and materials that are made of glass such as this glass bowl. Now let's learn about elasticity, the materials that are elastic. Elastic materials are materials that can return to its original shape after being stretched or compressed, such as this rubber band, which is made of rubber. It can return to its original shape even after being stretched or compressed. The other examples such as a spring and also a balloon, which is also made from rubber. All of these objects can return to its original shape even after being stretched or compressed. Now let's learn about materials that conduct electricity. Materials that conduct electricity are also known as electric conductors. The examples are such as metals, carbon, water, and also our body. So please be careful whenever you use electrical appliances, okay? And materials that do not conduct electricity are also known as electric insulators. They are glass, wood, rubber, paper, or plastic. They are important to protect us from electricity. Electric conductors are important to make sure that electricity can run through the circuit completely, as shown in the picture here. When we connect the circuit with an electric conductor, the bulb lights up. But when we connect the circuit with an electric insulator, the bulb will not light up. Now let's learn about materials that conduct heat. When we heat a metal at one end, after a while, we can feel the heat at the other end. This is because metal is a heat conductor. Materials that conduct heat are also known as heat conductors. They are metals, clay, or glass. One of the use of heat conductors are in cooking utensils to cook food. Materials that do not conduct heat are also known as heat insulators. The examples are such as wood, plastic, cloth, polystyrene, paper, or rubber. Heat insulators can protect us from heat. Now let's learn about materials that allow light to pass through. Transparent materials are materials that allow all light to pass through, such as clear glass, clear plastic, plain water, or fresh air. Translucent materials are materials that allow only some light to pass through, such as colored glasses and plastic, frosted glasses and plastic, tissue, thin paper or thin cloth, tracing paper, and other examples. Opaque materials are materials that do not allow any light to pass through, such as wood, thick cloth, cardboard or thick paper, thick plastic, clay, or metals. The examples of the use of transparent materials, such as at the front window of a car, so the driver can see the road clearly when he or she is driving, and also at the display windows in shops, so retailers can show their products to attract customers. And the use of translucent materials, such as at certain area where light is needed but the person inside wants a bit of privacy because the inside cannot be seen clearly. And for lampshades, translucent materials are suitable to be used because it allows enough light to make us see, but not too bright so it will not disturb our sleep. It also can create a calmer and more relaxed ambience. And for total privacy, opaque materials are used so other people cannot see inside of a room or inside a handbag. And opaque materials are also suitable to use as clothes to cover our body. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.